Hello and welcome to my channel Making Crafts. Today I'm working on the cover for my Be Happy journal, and this is part 3 in the series. And so I'm just going to be using some denim material for the cover, and I'm using a piece of 110-pound cardstock for the inside of the cover. And so I'm just going to cover this piece of cardstock really well with the Fabri-Tac glue. And the cardstock measures 7 1/4 by 10 because my pages measured 6 3/4 by 9. And so the fabric itself, I just ripped it down to be just a little larger than the cardstock, so I'd have plenty to work with when I was gluing it on. And so for this cover, I'm going to leave the top and bottom of the fabric frayed. And so I made it just a little larger than the cardstock so that the cardstock would not peep through once I had it all glued on. And so it's probably about 1/8 of an inch, between 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch larger. And then I'm going to glue the sides. I'm just going to add Fabri-Tac to the sides, and then I'm going to fold them over and give them a more finished look to the sides of the cover. And I wanted to leave some of the edges on the cover frayed, since this journal has a lot of little frayed edges in the fabric pocket that I added, and you can see that in the previous video. And it's going to have some lace and some ruffles and different things, so there's going to be a lot of fluff in this journal. So I'm just being sure to add enough glue so that the denim material does grab hold of the cardstock. And since the denim material is so heavy, I want to be sure to add plenty of glue so that it does adhere to the cardstock really well. I am going to take this to the sewing machine once I get the fabric glued to the inside of it. And I will sew around the sides, so that will help hold the fabric on as well, but I really wanted the fabric to adhere to the cardstock as best as possible. So here's the piece of fabric that I'm going to be using on the inside of my cover. And once again, I'm not measuring, I'm just laying the cover on top of the fabric, and then I'm just ripping the fabric down to the size needed. And for this piece, I'm going to leave all of the edges frayed. Since it's going to be on the inside, the way I'm going to glue it, I want the edges to show at the top and bottom, so I'm going to leave it frayed. And once again, you see I just lay it on there, I just trim it to the size and then rip it. No measuring needed. And so I'm going to add plenty of Fabri-Tac to my cardstock once again, and I'm adding just a thin line down the edge of the denim fabric, since this fabric will be covering the denim. And I love these colors with this junk journal kit. The denim and the cream I thought looked really well with this kit, and the browns as well. So now when you add this fabric, you just have to take your time and work with it. And so what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that my frayed edges don't roll under. They're trying to roll under. So I'm making sure that they stick out straight. And then I'm just slowly pressing the fabric from the center to get it smoothed out and even onto the cover. And you just work with it until you get all the puckers glued down and all the wrinkles out. And it just takes a few minutes, and take your time. And so it'll be worth it once you take your time with it. So once I have the cover glued up and I take it to the sewing machine, I'm going to be adding the pages to the cover. But first I want to add a few more things to the pages. And so right here I'm adding ruffles to each of the pages. I find it easier to add ruffles and lace when the pages aren't sewed in the book. When they are sewed in, you can still add it. For me, being able to lay it flat like this and line the ruffles up, because I like the ruffles, stitching on the ruffle itself to line up with the edge of the back side of the page. And so for me, laying it flat was the easiest way to do it. And once again, here you can see I'm adding some lace to this page. And what you could do this after you sew the book together, but for me, I find it easier to do it while the book is still apart. And if you wanted to stitch this lace on, you would definitely need to do it before you put the book together. So once I have all of the lace added and the ruffles added, now I'm just going through my book to see if there's anything else I need to add before I stitch it together. And so I go through and I line all my pages up, and I make sure that any pages that needed inking are inked, and anything that needs adjusting is adjusted before I sew it in the book, or sew it to the cover, and sew all the pages together as well. So now I am going to just clip all the pages together, and you need to take your time with this and be sure you get all your pages lined up how you want them, because once you punch the holes, it's really hard to go back and change it. So I'm just slowly adding all my clips and adjusting everything. And then I realized that I want a center pocket that will cover the stitches that I add. So I'm pulling out some Tim Holtz paper, and I found this little sheet in there that I thought went perfect with the pages that was in the center of the book. And I'm just going to cut it down to the size of the pages, and then I'm going to fold it in half. And once I have it folded in half, I make sure that it does fit the book correctly and that it's going to look right with those pages. And then I'm just going to punch the edges with a lacy little edge punch because I wanted the corners of the page or the pocket to be kind of decorative, and I thought this would look really good with some of the other pages that I have in the book using this punch. And so now I am going to have to readjust all my clips so that I am sure to get this pocket added to it. And so what I'm doing is I'm just using another clip that can help me move the other clips around without my pages moving and not having to go back and readjust everything completely. So once I have everything clipped together, I go ahead, and this is a very chunky book. So instead of punching the holes for the cover and the book at the same time, I'm going to punch the pages and then I will add the cover. So I just eyeball the center of the pages and I punch my first hole using my awl. And then just take your time with this. Go slow with it. Be sure you don't come out too crooked. You want to come out right at the edge of your spine. And so then I just eyeball a little bit down from the top of the book and the bottom of the book, trying to make everything fairly even. And so I'll try to do the same distance from the bottom that I do from the top. And you do need to be very careful. These awls are sharp, and so when you're trying to press it through something this chunky and this thick, with the cardstock and all the different pages, and I also, if you remember, or if you've watched the other previous videos, I added some washi tape to some pages, so that really made a lot of the pages hard to punch through. And so now for the denim cover, which is also very thick with the cardstock, the fabric, and the denim, I'm just going to slowly punch through it. So first I'm going to take my time lining up all the pages and making sure that the pages fit in the cover correctly. I like to be even from the top and the bottom, and then I just go through the hole that I made in my pages and then slowly through the cover. And so I'm just reusing the hole that I've already made. I'm not making any new holes. Just in the cover is where the new holes are going to be. And so then I'm just pushing it through. And once again, take your time on this. I am speeding up the video quite a bit, and so it did take me a lot longer than this. And so this is your cover and your pages, and this is how your book is finally going to look. So you want to be sure you get your pages in straight and your cover straight so that everything goes together nicely. And when I sew mine together, I typically do 3 to 4 lengths of the book for the thread. I just measure it out like that. And normally you probably don't need but 3, but thankfully I did 4 this time because you'll see mine gets knotted and I just trim it off. And this is my favorite part of the sewing, is running it through the beeswax. I have no idea why I love running this cotton thread through beeswax, but I find it so relaxing and so much fun to do. So here I am just adding some beeswax to my thread, and I just run it through it several times until I feel like the thread feels correct to me. I just have a certain feeling that I need the thread to feel like before I run it through the book or before I sew the book. And so then I just sew the book by starting out sewing through the middle, and then I go out through the middle and then in through the bottom hole, and then I will go up to the top hole and go back out of the top hole. And this is fairly thick book and pages, so it takes me a few minutes to get it through. And then I'm just going to go through the center hole again, and just being sure not to split my thread and to just bring the needle through the center hole, and then I'm bringing it through the other side of the thread that's already there so that I can sew the so I can tie the 2 threads together. So once I have the needle loose from the thread, I go ahead and I make sure that all my threads are tight, and I found that these were not tight enough to suit me, so I went back and I'm just tightening all of the threads so that everything is good and snug. And you want to be careful with this because you can pull it too tight and wind up ripping your pages, so you don't want to rip the holes any larger. And so then I just tie a few knots into the center, 2, 3, sometimes 4, depending on how I feel that day. I am very pleased that I decided to add this. And plus, it's another little place to journal. You can journal on the outside of the pocket. The print is light enough that you could journal on it, but also you can add journaling cards to the inside. You even could add just another little miniature paper journal to the inside if you wanted to. And so I felt like this was a good addition to this journal. And it's also a good thing if you were using this for your summer memories, if you had any tickets or anything that you wanted to save, you could just stick it down in that pocket. And pictures could be added to the outside of the pocket as well. So now I am going to work on the cover. So I want to take a piece of fabric, and I'm using the same fabric that I used on the inside of the cover, and I'm just going to cover my stitching on the outside. And then I've made a little collage or a little cluster using some of the fabric as well as a book page, and then I cut out another one of the little girls from the kit, and I printed her half size. This was one of the sheets where I printed 2 sheets of the kit per 1 page of paper. And so I just cut this little girl out, and I've just attached her to the book page and to the fabric, and then I just sewed around all 4 sides to add just a little more decoration to it by adding the stitching. And then for the spine, I'm just adding this piece of fabric, and I'm just going to start out, I always like to start out the center of the spine right on top of my threads. I add just a little bit of Fabri-Tac to get me started, and then I'll press down my fabric, and then I'll come back and raise up each edge and add more Fabri-Tac, just slowly adjusting it so that it fits nicely on the spine and that it fits where I want it to go. And that's the good thing with the liquid glue. You do have a little bit more time to work with it, so it gives you a few minutes to work with it and to get everything where you want it. And once again, for the spine piece, I didn't cut it straight. I didn't make it finished. I wanted all the edges to be frayed, and I did not want it to be straight. So I just tore it and let it turn out the way it wanted to be. So I do like that look for this journal. And so once I have the spine fabric added, I'm just going to add my little cluster to the front. And you see the flower on the side. I will eventually add the flower, but once I finish, I will wait till I finish working with the whole entire journal, adding all the ephemera pieces and pockets and items before I add it. So I'm just going to add the cluster for now. And I'm just applying lots of Fabri-Tac to this piece because I want to be sure that it sticks really well to the denim and that it does not go anywhere. So I don't want it to come loose. And so I had considered making a pocket, but I really want it to be sturdy, so since it is on the cover, so I am just adding lots of Fabri-Tac and not creating a pocket out of it. And I really love how this cover turned out. I know I keep saying that about the whole journal, but I have had so much fun making this journal. All the colors just fit me perfectly, and this has been one of my most favorite journals that I've made so far. And I'm considering selling it, but at the same time, I'm thinking of holding on to it for myself. But I know I've said this before, if you've seen my other videos, I can only hold on to so many journals and use so many journals. So I really don't have a reason to hold on to this one, so it probably will go up in my Etsy shop once it's completed. And so now I'm making sure that this is sticking really well. So the book pages are a little, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is. There were a little rougher edges and they were sticking up, so I'm making sure that I add some of the glue to those just to make sure that they lay down, because I don't want them to snag on anything once the book is completed. So I'm getting everything down completely tight to the fabric. So now I'm going to start the pockets for the inside of the cover, and I've just cut an index card down to the size that I thought looked right on the inside of the journal. And I was going to just cover the index cards, but this index card was really thin. It wasn't as thick as I wanted, so I'm just using some thicker cardstock, and I cannot remember how thick this cardstock is, but I just cut it down to the size to fit inside the journal. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 of these, because I'm going to have an inside pocket on both the front cover and the back cover. So they will be on the inside of both. And I happen to have this fabric I bought last year before I ever even saw this kit. And so it just worked perfect with this kit. So I was so glad I already had it. So I'm just making sure now that the pieces that I cut out will work okay with the cover and that it will close and work just fine. So once I have it figured out, I am going to just add the cardstock to my fabric. And for this one, I'm just going to leave the two short sides frayed, and then I am going to fold over the top and the bottom to give it a more finished look. And so you can see here, and that way when I slide things in and out of the pocket, with it folded over smooth like that, nothing will snag on the fabric and it can go in and out really smoothly. And so I'm just going to do the same thing to both. I'm going to fold down the top and I'm going to fold up the bottom on each one. And then I will take it to my sewing machine and I'm just going to use a straight stitch around all four sides. So once I sewed around all four sides, now I'm just going to attach them to the inside of the cover, and I'm adding it to the front and the back. And I really love how this cover turned out. I love the inside pockets, and I think that these pockets will be able to hold a bunch of tags and different things. And I love how the outside of the cover turned out, and I'm really enjoying how this book is coming together. And I hope that you are enjoying this series as well. And I will be back tomorrow with another video finishing up this journal. And thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.